Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Potato, and here we check out the latest and the greatest strategy games each and every day of the week. Today we are checking out Secret Government, which I am probably terming Illuminati Simulator because you play as a nefarious group of hooded figures who are constantly lurking in the background and controlling every action on a geopolitical stage. At least that's what it's supposed to be. We're gonna jump into free play mode. We're probably just gonna play on we'll play on developing mode actually, and we'll play with all of these settings. That is completely fine. Anyway, right, this is a very complicated game. The sheer number of tutorials that I have had to complete in order to get to this point, ladies and gents, would make you blush. It is truly a huge amount. Let's jump into France here, and then we will chat about exactly what the heck is going on and what's happening. Yeah, basically, I've been playing for at least 2 hours before I've been able to actually record this video from a place of relative knowledge, and even then it is very complicated. Okay, so first things first, this is the map. These are our 6 masters. We've got a huge number of them. We've got 6, and you can see right across the top they all kind of have their own different little roles, but that doesn't particularly matter. There are 2 campaigns, by the way, that sort of direct what you're doing. But I thought that we would just jump into free play mode just so that we can talk about some of the features and sort of get to grips with exactly what is going on. So basically, literally everything that is to do with country governance, you can do in this game, right? And it truly is quite remarkable, the breadth of action that you can undertake and the interconnectedness of all of the different elements, of the different people. Let's sort of just chat about some of the things that are on screen at the moment, so I can perhaps demystify exactly what's going on. So up in the top here, we've got our three indicators of influence, wealth, and also power. Now, the important thing to note is that these are the global values. So this is where it gets crazy. We've got 6 masters who are just chilling in France at the moment. We can spread our nefarious nature pretty much all across the world. Well, I say all across the world. We can't go into Asia. We can go into the New World, I think, from a certain date, but don't quote me on that. But obviously we're in France at the moment, but we can spread out from there, and perhaps we will do that in time. Anyway, we've got all of these figures up here. At the moment, there are no daily changes because we don't have any way to accumulate these points, but we will get that in time, just mark my words. Then over here, we've got a little bit of additional information about the country that we are in, namely France. The form of government is an absolute monarchy. We've got military power here. We've got info about the ruling party. Support level, this is popular support level of all of the people in France. How many people support the party? 97. Treasury level, 1.7 million. Dominant religion, etc. Right, then we've got local influence, we've got local wealth, and local power. So what we can do is we can convert between local and global power if we want to. It's one of the actions that we can undertake, and we will probably be doing that. But there is a way that we can generate. These local resources as well, and we will be getting to that in a little bit. We've got awareness. This is how aware people are of us. Doesn't particularly matter for all intents and purposes. We've got public order. Are there any riots happening in France at the moment? Not particularly. Then we've got a couple of these little buttons, none of which are particularly relevant right now, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, where does the majority of the decision making take place? Well, I'll tell you, and I'll get to it in just a second. But it's probably worth mentioning right now that there are 3 levels of brotherhood. We have masters, who are the 6 people that can undertake actions, specifically brotherhood actions, in order to further our goals. They're the ones that are standing around, I'm assuming Paris, but I would assume that Paris would be marked on the, I don't know, whatever, it around the center of France. Fine. We also have adepts, and we have neophytes. These are junior members. And junior members really are the lowest of the low, and we will need them for a couple of things. Adepts we'll get to in just a second, because adepts are probably the most useful. Right, let's talk about what these brothers can actually do right now. So if we click on them, we can see that it brings up a little wheel here. There are, what's that, 6 actions that we can undertake, and each of these little buttons has got a plethora of other actions. I know it seems insane. Roll with me here. Anyway, what we want to do as a first course of action, very, very simply, recruit a neophyte. We want to do that. We want to try and get as many of these schmucks as we possibly can. So this brings up another interface which contains a whole bunch of information. None of it is particularly relevant, but anyway, we are going to try and recruit. A couple of these people. So let's just go into this interface. It's on pause at the moment. It is in real time, so we don't have to worry. We don't have to worry about anything else happening. We're just gonna leave it on pause, and we're gonna get literally every single master that we have is gonna go out into the big wide world and is hopefully going to try and recruit some more members to our cult. I mean, organization. Right. So after that, let's unpause. And let's let the days tick forward. There is a date up in the top left-hand corner. Days pass one at a time. Excellent. Okay, so as it turns out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 candidates for the neophyte role, and that's great. We will just get these people added on, which is wonderful. And now we are going to start using them for our nefarious means. Indeed, we shall. Okay. Let's talk about the next screen, which, again, another big one. Roll with me on this one, folks. I'm telling you, it gets crazy. You just need to get through the insanely large amount of information that is on screen at any one time. This is the government tab. Let's do this over the water so it's a little bit easier to see. This is the government tab, and this is very, very relevant. So this is the entire ruling structure of France. Now, France, as we know, is an absolute monarchy. There is a ruler here. And the ruler has a whole bunch of actions that the ruler can undertake. For example, changing military policy, dynastic marriage, imposing a new economic policy, imposing a new public policy, trade policy, etc. We also have a cardinal who has the abilities. National restrictions on social mobility, religious restrictions on social mobility law, chief treasurer's got a whole bunch of things that they can do. Supreme commander, the person in charge of fighting and wars and stuff, they've got a whole bunch of stuff that they can do. The advisor has got a whole bunch of things that they can do as well. Not to mention there is a whole cabinet of people who are linked to their designated ministers through these little strands. All of these people can undertake different actions. And the crazy thing about this game is that we can recruit these people to our cause. And that is what we are going to do. So I think, first of all, it's probably worth us seeing if we can collect information on all of the key decision makers in this cabinet. There we go. No, not select that. We'll collect information. Excellent. And advisor as well. Collect information. Brilliant. And tax minister. Why not, eh? Okay, so that's a whole bunch of actions for all of our brothers to undertake. The neophytes, specifically, can undertake slightly different operations that are adjacent to what is happening in the government, but sort of of a similar profile. There's a whole bunch of actions here. Again, there's loads and loads of stuff. We'll have to go through it. But anyway, what I specifically want of the neophytes is to generate the local influence, the local wealth, and the local power that I was chatting about. So we're gonna get you to run errands. We're gonna get you to do all of these things. So you're gonna be doing influence. You're gonna be doing wealth, and you are going to be doing power. Now this is just going to be reoccurring as long as all of our requirements are not met. So secrecy, again, secrecy is a thing that we don't really need to worry about. Probability of resistance, not a thing that we need to worry about. Resources is very, very key, because that basically means as long as the local influence or the local wealth or the local power is below 1,000, these guys will try and find us some more power, which is very, very handy indeed. Okay, let's have a little look at how our recruitment drive goes. We'll see how many of the government we're able to uncover. That's pretty good. The portraits in this game are somewhat lacking, I will say that. Anyway, the ruler is quite an important individual. But let's see, what are the chances of us being able to recruit this person? A 32% chance to recruit if we're just gonna persuade him. A 0% chance to bribe, 50% chance to intimidate, which is kind of interesting. Now, you may notice that there's a whole bunch of modifiers here. 80% base chance of success, 50 from agents posts, blah, 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 blah. Loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of different modifiers. It is going to cost us a few power actions to intimidate, but to be honest, getting bribery, 100% chance of success to bribe, absolutely. I will take 100% chance to bribe and get you on board. You're going to be 100% chance to bribe as well. Brilliant. You're poor? Oh, I see. Yeah, so 50% chance of being bribed because you've got the poor trait. I suspect, no, you don't. Okay. Minus 100% chance of being bribed? Oh, but you probably do. Yeah, I see. So both of these government officials are poor. That's fine. I'm very, very okay. I'm very, very, very okay with that. That should be completely fine. Let's just go with it a little bit. We will let the days march ever forward. There's a couple of things up top here, which I guess are sometimes relevant, but I don't really pay much attention, to be honest. But there we are. France is concerned by the Brotherhood's activity and is preparing to take action. So that is bad. That is bad. That is bad. That is bad. So, because we are now sort of stepping out of the shadows, it is becoming clear to the French ruling class that I am perhaps a little bit of a threat. So it's probably a good opportunity for me to try and hide signs of activity. And I think this is going to do it. As long as secrecy is below 100. Excellent. Right. So you're going to automatically try and hide signs of activity. This is hopefully going to decrease fairly rapidly. Public order is still high, which is completely fine. We do want to try and, I guess, get a few more... Yeah, the government of France shifted their focus onto other issues. Good. Very, very good. You are gonna get to work on that, which is grand. I'm not even sure. Are we actually doing this? I think that we are. I think that we are getting resources, but I could be mistaken. There is a lot of stuff going on here. Anyway, so now that we've got at least a decent foothold in the government, we can start chatting about some of the other aspects of the game. First of all, can we try again? We can try again to intimidate you. There's a 40% chance. We're going to give it a punt. We're going to give it a punt. What about recruiting you? 38%, 0%. Okay. Fine. We'll try. Okay, brilliant. We got that. We didn't get you, unfortunately. Good reputation, celebrity, and wealth. Okay, all right. Well, this is okay. I mean, look, we've got our foot in the door, and that's kind of what matters. Interesting to note that whilst we've been having this conversation about game mechanics, the support of the royalists has definitely slipped a little bit, and that's, to be honest, probably good for us, because if we want to get into politics, which we absolutely can do, then yeah, we can make hay whilst the sun shines. What I'm thinking that we should probably do, I would like to have a little bit of a look at my relations relevant to other countries. Because I think I want to go to war. That's right. Again, just sort of roll with me on this. Things get crazy in this game, and they get crazy kind of fast. I think what we're probably going to do is we're probably going to see if we can try and take on Savoy here. Any opponents' lodges? Are there any actual opponents in the game? I don't think there are. There might be other... There might be other lodges somewhere, but I don't think so. Oh, look, there's already a war going on between Austria and Russia here. Anyway, Savoy is going to be my target. We're going to try and agitate. We're going to try and agitate ourselves into a position of authority in Savoy. So, first things first, we're going to want to try and take control of the ambassador role. Again, there's a whole bunch of rules. There's a whole bunch of abilities that they all have. The ambassador specifically has the ability to initiate peace talks, set up a diplomatic meeting, or leave office. And to be honest, I think we are going to have to use the ambassador at some point. We also want to gain control of the head of special services. The reason being, intimidation, 54% chance and 84% chance to intimidate. Sure, I'll try and intimidate you. And I'll try and intimidate you. The reason why is because I think that we want to try and declare war on Savoy, and I think that this is the best way of doing it. Controlling the ambassador is it's not necessarily a surefire way of doing it, but it's a good way. Ooh, we ended up failing on both of those recruitment drives, and that kind of sucks, actually. That really, really sucks. I need to revise my my neophyte operations here. Hold on. So you are supposedly hiding signs of activity, but if you actually were hiding signs of activity, you should explore the power structure as well. We'll recruit a few more people. And we will see if we can try and hide signs of activity. Yeah, if the amount of local resources is below the specified level. So if it's below 0, probability of resistance, put that there. Will that make you work? There we go. Hide signs of activity. Right, that seems to be working. I don't know what I've done, but it's good. Yeah, so assign 2 people to hiding our activity, because I'm pretty sure that France is going to get real nippy with us really soon. Anyway, let's create another couple of neophytes if we can. Unfortunately, as we recruit neophytes, our chance of recruiting them will go down a little bit. But that's fine. I'm okay with this. We'll try and recruit a few more. Brilliant. We got one more. We got one more. That's totally fine. Run errand, exploring the power structure. Let's assign you, see if you do that. Okay, this is clearly not working. I'm in a cancel the errand. I need to rework how we're working this. There we go. That's working now. Brilliant. Let's just change this up. Find wealth. Brilliant. No. And find power. Excellent. Okay, so clearly the secrecy mechanic or the other middle mechanic there just ain't working, but that's okay. Right, we can make this work. As you can see, our awareness is decreasing fairly rapidly. It looks like it's decreasing fairly rapidly anyway. The hiding signs of activity does seem to be working. Exploring the power structure. We have now completely explored the power structure, which is excellent. We got a little bit of local wealth, a good amount of power reserves. That's not too bad at all. Pretty happy with that. The military institution, yeah, we're currently not very infiltrated in these establishments. This is, I believe, representative of how many people we have recruited in the military wing, in the wealth wing, and in the I guess, the influence wing. So we only have one person in each of these wings, but they are the most important person. So that does count for something, right? Influence in the military institution, as you can see, specifically is 21.05 for the Supreme Commander here. Anyway, let's see if we can try again with the head of the Special Services. Now, we could do something, you know, we could like set up surveillance on the head of the Special Services and also the ambassador. You know, or we could just organize an assassination. We could do any number of things in order to try and get them recruited as members. But to be honest, I think that we just want to try and maybe roll our luck. A 40% chance is not bad. Not bad at all. Let's see if we can try and recruit you. And we got a 70% chance here. Brother Marin Cambert was exposed by the government of France. Oh, that's a bit of a problem. That's a bit of a problem. I don't know who that is, but it's somebody. It's somebody. So you gotta shake off the heat, bud. You gotta shake off the heat. Oh, yeah, here, as you can see, it's this guy. It's this guy. His secrecy is in a bad place now because we've overused him a little bit. Anyway, the good news is we were able to get our ambassador, which is quite nice. Special services, you are just not coming to my side, are you? Well, you know what? Run him again. Intimidate him again. There's nothing that says fun, unlike being intimidated multiple times in a row. Anyway, how's Savoy doing in terms of military power? 17.6k? Yeah, you know what? I think that there is a real opportunity that we can take Savoy here. Just mark my words. We are going to expand. We're going to expand France. The Papal States. Do we want to take the Papal States? We could take the Papal States. It's an option. Okay. Hey, look at that. Head of Special Services. Finally, you've come over to us, which is great. That's really, really, really good. I'm particularly happy with that. Right. I think now it is time to do official power. We're going to have an incident at the border, and the border is going to be Savoy. So it's going to cost us a couple of local resources, but hopefully it is going to give us the pretense for war. That's right. That's what I'm hoping anyway. Aha. Aha, there is an incident at the border. An incident at the border may trigger a war between France and Savoy. Relations between the two countries, 42 to 38. Military power of the two countries, I have overwhelming military power. This casus belli will disappear. An accidental deliberate incident on the border between can cause wars, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to get our ambassador to go to Savoy. We want to set up a diplomatic meeting. And we want to say, hey, Savoy, your fish sucks. Let's freaking go. Countries can start a war if relations are below 20. Again, I appreciate it's a lot to go on. A lot of stuff is happening right now, but just this is one of the ways that we can influence the game. And hopefully... Oh. Hey, look at that. We managed to start a war with Savoy. And now we're going to start poking them with muskets. And Savoy might be reinforced, but frankly, it's not going to make a darn bit of difference because we are going to take out the army very, very soon indeed. Come on, France. It's time. All right, the diplomatic meeting went as expected. Yeah, we trashed their fish. That was it. We trashed their fish. Ah, we took one of the Savoy regions. Very, very nice indeed. Pretty happy with that. I suspect that we're probably going to go in for this region in just a second, once the troops have been moved around a little bit. Okay, enemy agents detected. Ooh, there's an enemy agent in France somewhere. Our awareness is not in a good place. Not in a good place at all. Are we acting with our hide signs of activity? No, we do need to. We do need to. Hold on. Health, loyalty, secrecy. We need to get you to... We need to get you to... There we go. Do that instead. That'll make a difference, right? There we go. So you're going to continue to sacrifice yourself in order to continue to hide our nonsense, right? I need to get my head around the whole interface because boy oh boy it doesn't get any easier. Trust me on that one, folks. It does not get any easier. Anyway, Savoy, we're currently conquering Savoy, which is great. Hey, look at that. We've taken Savoy. That is freaking brilliant. And you know what the crazy thing is? We're not even in control, right? We're not even in control of the government. We're not even in control of the government. We are literally just manipulating from the sidelines. And this is the sort of power that we exert. And look what we've got. We've only got like 33% infiltration across the board. And it feels good. It feels really, really, really good. We've got some good local resources now. We've got decent global resources as well. Let's look at some of the other actions that we can undertake here. So in the Brotherhood, we can establish a lodge. And I think this is something that we do want to do. This is something that we do want to do. Each day, the Lodge will bring resources to the treasury of the Brotherhood without raising awareness, which is nice. The amount of resources depend on the infiltration level and the level of the country's development of institutions. Of course. So the more we're able to the more we're able to infiltrate the government, the more money we're going to get. That's fine. Yeah, okay. Let's go. Let's construct a lodge here. Let's construct a lodge. I'm pretty okay with that. What's going on? Accidents. Public order is still mostly fine in this country, I believe. Let's have a little look. Yeah, public order is at 100%, so we're not falling to riots yet, which is kind of nice. So that's one of the ways that we can go about influencing the politicians. To be honest, I'm looking at Spain right now, and I'm kind of thinking, I kind of want to have a little crack at Spain. I mean, Spain has got 388k military power. We should probably just have a little punt here, right? I mean, let's speak to the ambassador. I mean, if we've got people in the government, not the government of Spain, if we've got people in the government, then we might as well give it a crack. These people are still officially secret. So let's go and have a punt at Spain, eh? And then let's also set up a diplomatic meeting with Spain as well. So, yes, everyone can undertake actions. Oh, look, there we go. We're literally going to war with Spain. It's just literally that simple to manipulate the governments to work together. So in France, we kind of have sent all of our military power away to fight in Spain, which is going to have a bit of a bad impact on our finances, but that's okay. We haven't even got to like the social side of this game yet, which is again like another layer deeper. We're literally on the very surface level at the moment when we're talking about like recruitment, we're talking about adepts, we're talking about influence, talking about secrecy and loyalty. Yeah, it's freaking mad. It's freaking mad though. But France is looking good. Anyway, thing is, the support level for the royalists does seem to be ebbing away. Let's take a little look at why all of these protesters are out protesting. In fact, right. So what I want to do is I want to go into the society interface. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Potato, this is absolutely insane. It's not. Let me walk you through it. So, let me zoom out a little bit so that we don't have to listen to the protesters quite as much. As you can see here, we have the monarchy ruling. They've got official support and they've got unofficial support. And then they've also got secret support as well. Now, official support is people who can vote. Now, people who can vote in this society, the aristocrats, and also the higher clergy as well. Now, they have a whole bunch of different stats. As you can see, the aristocrats have got 41% official support. They've got a population size, 200,000, and they've got a tremendous amount of political influence. The clergy have got way less political influence, way less population size as well, and also have a similar level of support. Unofficial support is all of the people that can't vote, including the people that can vote as well. Now, it's only in the absolute monarchy where we have these two people that can vote. In different types of societies, you have different people that can contribute officially, right? Makes sense. Either way, the unofficial support is also interesting. So artisans, for example, they support the government pretty much entirely, as it turns out. 70% official support. Political influence basically non-existent, but they unofficially support the government, which is kind of nice. So what do we want to do? Well, we can take a little look at any of these specific groupings of people. I mean, taking a look at, for example, the aristocrats. Again, wait a second here. Because you're probably saying, Potato, what the hell? This is just circles and nonsense and whatnot. But no, I'll tell you, it makes sense. So, this is the aristocrats' hierarchy of needs. I know it's crazy that this is in a game, but let me explain it to you. For example, order. The aristocrats have a need for order. Order is 100% satisfied, which means that there's police on the streets, they're not threatened, they're very, very happy. And as you can see, it is 100% satisfied. Order's an estate value, which reflects the interest of an estate in a society's compliance with the laws adopted in their country, fully matches the level of public order in the region. Right? So just basically what I explained. There's no protests. The order value is satisfied. The percentage of estate sharing value is 25%. So that means how much do the aristocrats care about order? Well, they care about it. 25% of their total cares are devoted to order. For example, they care much more about security, and they are very, very, very unsatisfied with the level of security that they currently have. So as you can see, percentage of the estate sharing value is 72%. The availability of sufficient means to survive. The satisfaction of value is 100% when the estate has enough funds to buy the goods it consumes. So what this is saying, because the security need is not being met, or only 1% of it is being met, the aristocrats are not making the money that they need to survive or to maintain their lifestyle. And if we click through, we can actually see what they buy specifically. You can see that they buy food that is being supplied 100%. Clothing is not being supplied. They buy consumer goods, simple weapons, fine clothes, and delicacies. Everything but the delicacies is not being met to a standard of at least 50%, and luxury goods is barely being met to a degree of 50%, which probably tells you that there are some pretty severe economic difficulties in the country of France presently. We'll get to the economics in just a second, but for now, all you need to really understand is that there is a way that we can influence these. There's a way that we can influence these aristocrats to change their mind about things, because at the moment, the only reason they care about security is because they believe in absolutism, right? I know you're thinking, hey, Potato, I didn't sign up to learn about political ideologies. I signed up to play some freaking video games and learn about strategy and whatnot. Yeah, I know, but this is freaking cool. So there's a whole bunch of ideologies that comprise the grouping that is aristocrats. 69%. It had to be 69%. 69% of them believe in absolutism, which means that they care deeply about security. Whereas if we, for example, wanted to make the aristocrats care about national unity, we can influence the aristocrats to believe in nationalism. As you can see, national unity depends on the following ideology: nationalism. We can change the ideologies that any voter group believes in order to help us or to hinder the ruling class, which is very, very cool. So what I'm looking at right now is I'm looking at, hey, tradition. Tradition is not being satisfied at all in France. Neither is security, to be fair. But if I wanted to upset the apple cart, we can just try and find some of the needs that are not being met and convert the aristocrats to ideologies that share those needs that are not being met. Which is totally fine. Let's have a little look at the high clergy here. Similarly so, the security of the high clergy is just not being met. Religious unity, as you will no doubt see, the high clergy believe in religious unity, which is fine. It's being satisfied somewhat, but mostly, again, security just isn't being met. And I suspect that the reason why the security isn't being met at the moment is because everyone is protesting. Now, when the labor protests, none of the industries are able to function. And it looks, to be fair, like it is a pretty Europe-wide event. I don't know if it's specifically to do with my country. France reduced the taxes on the estate of workers. Okay. All right, well, we'll worry about that a little bit later on. Anyway, that's the society screen in France. What have we chatted about? We chatted about the government screen. We know what's happening in the government screen. We know about government infiltration. Society, we know about what's happening. We know what's happening in the society screen, or at least we know about what's happening there, but not how to really properly deploy it. Let's chat about the economy. And this is actually very, very simple to understand. It really, really is. So there's the economic institution here, which is pretty important. It's at 100, which is grand. It's really, really good. The more wealth of the Brotherhood can gain by exploiting it. Yeah, this is a great institution to exploit because it's so good. Anyway, logistics costs. This is kind of to the side. It doesn't particularly matter. What really matters is these little pips around the edge here, right? So, for example, farmable land used by industries, 63%. We have more land to farm if we want to. If we were in government, which we're not, I would maybe see if I could subsidize farming to try and expand the amount of farmable land. Same with forest. Same with fishing waters, same with iron ore, copper ore. Wow, used by industries. Wow, we've got 762 copper ore in the ground, and only a tiny little bit is used by industry. That's fine. Let's go to industries and have a little look at the industry screen. Again, this is insane. We can break down all of the regions in France, by the way. I don't know why I'd particularly want to, but there you go. It's something that we can do. Anyway. This is crazy. This is crazy. The amount of detail and depth is actually mind-blowing. It really, really is. There's a whole bunch of different stats here. None of it particularly matters. Copper mines, for example. We've got 7 copper mines in the country. We've got 35 sawmills in the country. This is a little indication of who owns all of the industries, all of the production. As you can see, it's mostly the aristocrats. I mean, 90% of the, or 70% of the vineyards, 90% of the food farms, 58% of the cattle farms. The government of France owns a lot of leather workshops, apparently, and also creative workshops, also apparently, and consumer workshops. But it's worth keeping in mind. Anyway, this is a very, very, very in-depth game when it comes to what you can produce, where you can produce it, when you can produce it. It's kind of bonkers. Then we can have a little look at the laws. Now we can have army mobilization laws. We can have immigration laws, emigration, migration. We can change the voting right laws. We can change the slavery laws, possession of industry laws, social mobility laws, tax laws, trade laws, society laws. It is literally incredible as to what we can do in this game, and certainly, something very, very, very interesting just happened. Did you see what it was? Sorry about that little interruption there, folks. Anyway, back to it. Yeah, something very, very interesting happened here, and I'm not really sure that you'll know immediately looking at the situation as to see what it is, but I'll give you a big old hint right up here. So what happened was that the support of the government got to such a level that that basically the ruling party, or the ruler I should say, was just completely booted out. So we are now completely rudderless. The interesting thing about this game is that when a new ruler comes into power, they don't replace any of their ministers. The only way that you can get rid of a minister is if we want to get rid of them, or if I think that the ruler may have a couple of actions that allow them to get rid of ministers, but I've certainly never seen it happen where the ruler actually gets rid of the minister. Anyway, we're now in anarchy. There's no leader, and therefore I have no idea what the heck is going to happen. So what I think we should do is we should look to get into politics. That's right. Let's have a little look at the ideological situation in the country. So what we can see here, it's really quite difficult to see, but it's the prevalence of ideology. Most people support absolutism. However, there is also a little bit of support for feudalism. a little bit of support for theocracy, and also a little bit of support for, what is this, enlightened absolutism. However, there's not really an opportunity for us to get in the door here. I mean, what we could do, ooh, I didn't realize that was a little window that popped up there. What we could do, and what we can do, is if we click on you and go to parties, we can actually create a political force. Now, we could create an absolutist political force. We could create a Catholic absolutist force. A public absolutist, yep, absolutely military policy, expansionism, trade policy, free trade, sure, economic policy, social policy, etc. I think that this is what we are going to do. It's going to take us 5 days to do, and hopefully we're going to be able to leverage our political movement into a movement where we are able to control things. Right. Create a political leader. We're going to create a... The chosen party already has a leader? Okay, alright, that's fine. The political force of the aristocrats gets a leader. Fine. Apparently we can't do that. Absolute monarchy, the royalists are back in. Right, that's a little bit of a shame there, because I wanted to try and be the one to get into power, but alas, it didn't happen, at least not on this occasion. I think we can... we're probably okay with this, given that there is going to be a pretty big shift fairly soon anyway. Ah, there's the leader. Brilliant. Collect information. We're on it. We are on it. Right. I mean, we can change the system of governance in this country if we wanted to. Liberalism, for example, is definitely on the cards. What we can do in order to undertake that is by going into brotherhoods. No, sorry, it's not brotherhood. It's estates, spread ideology, aristocrats, for example, and we'll spread liberalism, right? We can spread liberalism to the aristocrats. Let's go and do it. Let's go and do that a couple of additional times. Basically, within the ruling classes, we are going to make liberalism the trendy form of governance. Aristocrats, higher clergy. Let's go, and let's go. Okay, hopefully I don't end up getting too uncovered, but I think we will be just fine. Right, we're still at war with Spain, by the way, here. Spain is in protests. We should still be, yeah, we should still be at war with Spain, I think. That's grand. Accidents, alliances, and wars. This country is currently at war with France and also has no allies, which is just exactly what we want to see. Anyway, we have done our liberal drive. So what does that mean? What does that mean for our ideological base? Probably not much at this moment in time. It's really, really difficult to see what the heck is happening. Over time, we should start to see a little bit of a build-up in the number of people that support the idea of liberalism. But at the moment, it is fairly low. Ideological pressure. There is a lot of ideological pressure for liberalism to grow. It's very, very large. 4%. It's gonna increase. There's a lot of ideological pressure, which means that the idea of liberalism, hopefully, will grow within the minds of the aristocrats and also the clergy. Now, if we go into this interface, we can actually have a little look. We can actually have a look at how much the clergy supports the idea of liberalism. As it turns out, it's 79%, which is pretty good. These people like order. That's brilliant. That is fantastic. They like order, and therefore we are in a nice place where they're quite happy and quite content. That being said, creating anarchy might not be the craziest idea in the world. There's still a little bit of ideological pressure. There's still a little bit of ideological pressure, but clearly not that much. More people than just the than just the aristocrats matter when it comes to political support. Specifically, Artisans, they've got a role. Police have got a role as well. I mean, if we wanted to turn the police into a bunch of liberals, then that would probably be a pretty good idea. I think. Let's start with the police. Sure. Spread, and we will spread, and we will spread, and we'll spread once more. There we go. Okay, our awareness is pretty good. It's pretty good at the moment. It is being increased a little bit, but that's just fine. That is just fine. We should start to see a little bit of upwards liberal momentum. Peasants to support liberalism? No, I think we're going to go with the soldiers. The soldiers have got a pretty large contingent. They kind of matter in this context. Right, so let's try it 4 times. There we go. Excellent. 4 times. Where does that leave our liberal support? Well, it leaves us in such a position that there is a lot of upwards political pressure on the liberal front. Oh, that's not me. That's not me. We're slowly but surely, by the way, taking Spanish territory. We could try and tackle some smaller nations in Europe, but I'm not particularly interested in doing that. I think, to be honest, we're just going to continue to spread ideology. Police have got 76% interest in liberals. Artisans, we'll do artisans, sure. Oops, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, so that's the artisans basically fully converted to liberalism. The number of people that are interested in liberalism is definitely increasing. Definitely increasing at a fairly rapid rate. It's pretty good. I suspect that support for the royalists is not going to continue forever. It's probably going to continue for a wee bit longer. Right, what about peasants? Sure, let's see if we can try and spread some ideology amongst the peasants. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. This is bad. This is bad. We are completely out of influence. That is to say, we are out of global influence, which is what we are spending at present. I'm going to withdraw resources from France and turn them into global. Now, that is going to lose a little bit of secrecy, increase a little bit of awareness, and it's going to take 20 turns to do. But, I mean, it's not a huge price to pay. There we go. And do that again. Cool. All right. So there should be a tremendous number of people interested in liberalism right now, which is grand. Also, I think that we've been booted out of our position in control of the treasury. We have indeed. We have indeed. Can I recruit you to the team? We'll give it a shot. No guarantee that it's going to work. I don't know what happened to you. You may very well have died. Alternatively, you might have just stopped being in your position. It was a failed intimidation attempt. You know what? Let's go again. We could try and recruit for information, but I'm not particularly interested in doing that. No, on the contrary, I am interested in upending society. I want to cause chaos. Capitalists. The capitalists still support what's going on. You love order. I mean, we can absolutely destroy order. We can destroy order in this country, and to be honest, I think that that's what I want to do. The governor refused to deal with us. That's a shame. That is a shame. Suppress riots, suppress the uprising, incident at the border, create diversion, incite the army to plunder, political assassination, push for highway robbery. Ooh. All right. I want to try and get you into my pocket. Get you into my pocket, and get you into my pocket as well. So, what we're doing here, these are 2 people that are actually out of government. I don't know if it's very clear, but these 2 people are not a part of the government. Instead, they sort of exist on the sidelines. So we've got the head of the underworld here, and we've also got the powerful magnate. I guess the two opposite sides of the political spectrum. Liberalism, by the way, is now the second most interesting ideology in the country. We've got the head of the underworld here. Let's see if we can push for highway robbery. What the heck is that going to do? Transportation. Okay, this is going to destroy. This is going to destroy the transportation value. It's going to increase transportation costs. It's not super relevant, but it is going to. It's logistics costs basically. And you know who's going to be most impacted by an increase in the transportation costs? That's right. It's almost certainly going to be the people that own the most businesses, i.e., the aristocrats. So that's probably going to lower the royalists' support a little bit more. What else can we do? Political assassination, incite the army to plunder. Incite the army to plunder is probably a pretty good idea. Errand is only available during war. Sure. What if I do this? What if I do this? It's going to cost me a lot of points, but sure. We'll incite the army to plunder. Let's see how that happens. And then let's create some economic shenanigans as well. Let's say basic food. I want to create basic food if I can. Delicacies, fine clothes. Maybe delicacies. If we can't do like normal food, I guess we'll do stuff like this. So we'll increase the cost of living. 74 days left to properly incite the army. Support level should decrease. That's what we're really hoping for. Cause panic in the property market, agricultural industries, dependent estates. We're just gonna try and cause chaos. We're just gonna try and cause absolute chaos to try and lower the support that the government is getting from the aristocrats. I'm hoping that it's gonna make a difference. Clothing. We should be able to do this. All right, this is having a dreadful effect. It's not actually working in the way that it should be. Let's take a little look at the society tabs, see what's happening. You've got a lot of support for the government. We really need to try and bring down order. Is there anything that I can realistically do right now that would bring down public order? An embargo? Not really. Initiate peace talks. Convince the elite to build roads? Absolutely not. Suppress riots. Can we recruit you? Right, we'll recruit you. Encourage harsh military drills. We'll bribe you 100%. We'll bribe you 100%, I guess. And we're gonna see if we can try and increase the taxes. We're just gonna try and get to the aristocrats. Right, official powers, industry taxes. I mean, they own everything, right? They own absolutely everything. Foundry workshops. Let's just tax this loads. What else? Convince to build roads, impose an embargo, trade taxes. What else can you do? Nothing else that we're particularly interested in. Let's see if we can do garrison size. Okay. Let's reduce the garrison size to 0. I think that's going to have the effect of reducing public order. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's going to reduce public order. Yeah, public order is now at 67. If we're able to decrease public order just a little bit more, then fight crime. I kind of don't want to fight crime at all. In fact, I kind of just want to leave crime as it stands. Ooh, I've got an idea. What if... Oh, did you just... Oh, yeah, you totally just became not one of mine. All right, well, we'll recruit you. What about you? 58% chance if you're intimidated. All right, that's cool. We'll give that a punt. I want to incite some riots, if it's all possible. Official powers. Yes, this is what we're talking about. So, mobilization of officers. I'm going to just absolutely slash the number of officers that we have. I know that we are technically at war, which is a little bit of a... perhaps a little bit of a problem. But I'm going to reduce our... soldiers in the hope that... There we go. In the hope that this is just going to give us a huge amount of people that are unemployed, and therefore riots by the boatload. Ooh. France dismissed some soldiers. The government has decided to remove this person. That's fine. Okay. Support level for the royalists is still a little high, although it does seem to be dropping. Public order as well does seem to be on the way down. You're poor, which means that I can basically 100% guarantee the fact that I will get to control you. That's brilliant. Excellent. Chief Treasurer, do we want to do anything? I mean, we maybe want to increase property taxes on somebody here. Industry taxes on the population. Yeah, aristocrats, let's bump this up to 100. Let's freaking go. And that is definitely going to reduce the security on aristocrats here. And you know what? We're going to tax those other smarmy chumps, the clergy as well. Okay, if we're working on liberalism, let's see if we can create a political force. We're going to create a liberal political force. Parliamentary republic, presidential republic. Sure, let's go for a presidential republic. There we go. Let's create a brand new political force that hopefully is going to be able to translate into the government. Oh, look at that. Support level for the absolute monarchy. It just dropped to 21%. And now we're in anarchy. Now we are in a position of anarchy. Oh, that is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. Right. We need to work on liberalism just a little bit more. We're very, 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 very close. I mean, if I go to political forces... Not this one. Not estates. Hold on. What am I looking at? Estates value. Supported political forces. Sure. We can stay here. We can stay here for now. Secret political force. Secret political force. Unofficial support of the population. We've got the capitalists, and we've got the intellectuals here, neither of which I think have been particularly influenced by liberal thoughts. But pretty much everyone is in favor. Pretty much everyone is in favor at the moment of the continuing absolute monarchy. So we need to get to the capitalists, and we also need to get to the intellectuals. Let's go. Let's get them influenced. Right, capitalists, liberalism. Yep. In fact, what we can also do is we can also oust absolutism from the capitalists. There we go. Continue to spread ideology. Spread liberalism. Spread this in the intellectuals. Yep. Anyone else need a little bit of intellectual... Anyone else need a little bit of intellectual learning? Happy to spread it. Workers. Spread it amongst the workers. Good stuff. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay, nice. Okay, look at that. We're reducing the peasants. Let's go on peasants, sure. Peasants aren't super important. We should probably work on the police first. Work on the police and intellectuals. Intellectuals and... Oops. More intellectuals. Okay. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Ideological pressure should start stacking up. Yep, there we go, there we go, there we go. It's starting to happen now. It's starting to happen. The intellectuals are in favor. Let's continue to keep pushing. Continue to keep pushing. Continue to keep pushing. Right, we're actually bang out of influence, which is a bit of a shame, but not the end of the world. Again, we can just go into withdrawal of resources. We'll withdraw the vast majority of our influence from here. And that's going to give us the ability to continue. We are still in a state of anarchy, but it's not going to be for much longer. It's not going to be for much longer. Soldiers. We don't have the requirement yet. We have a bit more influence to get across the line. Soldiers. Yep. Who else? We need more. More influence. More influence. Okay, we're still in a state of anarchy. We're still in the state of anarchy. Hey, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. It actually happened. Okay, we have changed. We're now in a presidential republic. The party of governance is the Liberals. This is great news. This is absolutely brilliant news. Okay, this is great. This is me. This is my political force. Now, I don't actually know if I can do very much. We've already created a political force. I've already chosen a leader, apparently. Apparently, there's already a leader that's been chosen. Maybe if I was a little quicker to act, then we'd have gotten somebody. Persuasion, bribery. Yeah, I mean, this country is in absolute chaos at the moment. We're not quite in free fall, but it does sort of look like it. Liberalism is now the name of the game. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Liberalism is the name of the game. Public order is a little bit low. I should maybe think about trying to get back on top of things in terms of public order, but I'm not particularly bothered about doing that. I'm not particularly bothered about doing that at all. Right. The other thing that we can think about doing, which I have not done up until now, is if we do, where is it? Move the brother. Move you to England, for example. We can straight up start doing all of this stuff. Yeah, we can straight up start doing all of this stuff in every single freaking country. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? The other crazy thing is that we are absolutely smashing Spain in this war. I really, really, really want to see what's going to happen in this little war. We've got like what, two more areas to take over. The absolute monarchy of Spain. Oh, look, looks like my government wasn't able to stand up to wasn't able to stand up to the nonsense that. Excuse me. Can we create a leader? I apparently cannot do that. I'm unable to create a leader, and I have absolutely no idea why. Yep, not sure. Not sure. We haven't even talked about interrogations or any of that nonsense. Probably the reason that we're probably not able to create a leader is, I guess, because we are in a state of anarchy. But there you go. It's fine. We're still at war, even though we're in a state of anarchy. How crazy is that? Pretty crazy. The army is doing a better job, apparently, of managing things than we are, which is grand. We've taken Navarre, which is also cool. We've got one last area to take. Yeah, I do wish that I could set a leader for the Liberals. That would be really, really cool if we could do that. But unfortunately, I cannot. Intelligence, set up surveillance, collect information on an opponent's lodge. Yeah, apparently we can do that. I've not really experimented with that altogether too much. This is the last gasp. This is the last gasp of the Spanish defenses. And this is about to put us firmly in control. Ooh, who's this? Who are you? I don't even know who you are. I don't even know what you're all about, my dude. I suspect that we'll find out in just a second. Let's recruit you if we can. 49% chance of recruitment. I guess we'll just try and recruit literally everyone in the cabinet here. 100% infiltration would be pretty darn good. Intimidation. Intimidation. There we go. Look at this. Everyone is mine. Even though the country is in absolute chaos, I'm in control. I am in control. Infiltration level is very, very high. But yeah, the reason why you want to try and get a leader, is because it is basically impossible to recruit the leader of the nation. It's not easy at all. Minus 79% chance from the target's post. It's because they're leader of the country. Okay, we have taken. Actually, tell a lie. We haven't taken all of Spanish territory. We've still got to take this bit of territory, this bit of territory as well. What is this? Lombardy. Cool. All right. Yeah, we're still in a little bit of a chaotic moment here. But to be honest, I mean, a little bit of chaos never really hurt anyone. Chaos is not hurting me even slightly, and so I'm quite content just to let the chaos continue. And indeed, long may it continue. All right, we're off down to, this is Sicily. That's Sardinia. This is Sicily. I always forget the difference. Declaring war on Spain seems like a pretty good thing to do, all things considered. But hey ho. Should we try and increase the garrisons? If we increase the garrisons, that might just make a little bit of a difference. Hold on. Mobilization law, army garrison level. Garrison size. Why can we not change this? Is it because we are in a state of anarchy? It must be. It must be. It's really close between liberalism and feudalism. Or absolutism, I should say. Ooh, look at this. Our treasury slowly but surely draining away. Less than 60 million ducats or whatever. It's happening. Yeah, we've not really touched on much of the, I guess, the trade interface or anything like that. It's mostly just been about the political intrigue elements of what's going on. Because this is an unbelievably complicated game. If that hasn't been made clear to you over the past hour and 7 minutes, I'm not really sure what more I can say. This game is ridiculously complex, but actually, surprisingly, I think it's very, very rewarding. Certainly, my experience has been very positive. Actually, there are a couple of hitches here and there, but it's on the whole quite good. I've really enjoyed my time with it. I think that we should really try and maybe, yeah. We want to let absolutism come back. I really don't care. The only reason that I'm really hanging around, to be honest, is because I am dead keen to see what happens to Spain. Is Spain just going to be entirely annexed? Is that really what's going to end up happening here? I suspect so. We just got this one singular region to take out, and then that's it. Although there's also these islands, isn't there? Oh no, that's the Netherlands. Hold on, these are the islands. Yeah, but I think they've been conquered already. If I can see the. Ooh, look at this. There's another brother. Aha. Interesting. So there's other cults that are also on the go at the moment. Aha! Look at this! We took it all. Look at this. Oh my giddy aunt. Right, so it turns out that we've just defeated Spain in, I guess, the ultimate battle. And now we're in control of like half the world. All of the boot of Italy. All of France. All of continental France. All of continental Spain. You know the crazy thing? I'm not actually sure that anyone is that bothered about me taking control. I don't think so. I think it's fine. We're still in the state of anarchy. I've got no real intention to try and fix that. This is a complicated game. I can barely get my head around it, folks. If you want to try, if you want to let me know how you get on, you know, let me know in the Discord. Because I want to see more ways in which this game can interface with a proper human brain as opposed to my brain. This is Russia, Poland, Lithuania. How did you get here, Russia? Interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. I guess you conquered Austria? That looks like it was ex-Austria. But perhaps that's just me. Yeah, very interesting game, very interesting concept. I love the idea of playing as a secret, as a super secret sort of cult. It's very, very cool indeed. But as I say, yeah, I've done my best to try and explain what the heck is going on. I hope you appreciated it, because it was bloomin' difficult to try and get through all the tutorials, but we got there in the end. Thank you ever so much for watching, folks. Thanks as ever to the fantastic support over on the Patreon page, patreon.com/potato. And thanks to Banana and Aurelia from the $225+ tier patrons. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I'll see you next time. Bye.